Finding yourself in a nice parallel stance, feet shoulder width distance apart. We're going to go ahead and reach down to our right side. So slide that right hand down the side of your pants. Beautiful. Once you can't bend any further, go ahead and wave that arm out to the side, lift all the way up through standing to find yourself in a side bend over the other way. A nice big inhale breath here. And on that exhale, start to circle down to find yourself in a forward fold. Hanging here in center, nice and heavy. Soft bend through the knee to slowly roll yourself all the way back up, stacking that vertebra one at a time. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and move over to the left-hand side now. Leaning down to the left as far as you can, keeping your chest nice and open. Inhale here, and on that exhale breath, stack up through standing. Find yourself in a side bend all the way over to the other direction. Beautiful. Circling that arm down to find yourself in a forward fold and a soft bend through the knee to stand all the way up. Beautiful. We're going to go for one more like that on each side. Reaching down the right hand side, keeping that chest shining forward. Waving that hand up overhead, finding yourself in a side bend in the opposite direction to circle that arm down and slowly restack that vertebra one at a time, head being the last thing to lift. Nice. Last one here, left hand side now, reaching all the way down. Exhale breath to sweep up and over, find yourself in that side bend, and then circle down all the way through center. Let's hold it here. Your head's nice and heavy here. Go ahead and give me a couple of no shakes with your head, looking over each shoulder. And maybe you'd like to go for a few yes nods, nodding that head up and down. Nice work. From here, we're going to grab each of your elbows and we're just going to swing our body from side to side, releasing through the back of the legs, waking up the body today before we get into it. Never forgetting to breathe, making sure you're taking big inhales through that nose. Beautiful work. Go ahead and let go of those elbows now. One final stretch while we're down here. We're going to take the back of our legs. Hold onto the back of your legs for me and press your spine into the back of your t-shirt, rounding as much as you can, looking towards your belly button. Nice. Let go of those legs, hanging nice and low, nice and heavy. And then let's slowly start to restack that spine, coming all the way back up to standing. Nice and slowly, the chin is the last thing to lift. Beautiful work. All right, today we're going to start with a round of lunges. So find yourself at one edge of your end of your mat with the length of the mat behind you. Hands can come to the hips to start. Our right leg's going to step back and we're going to find a 90-90 lunge. So drop that back knee down and then let's go ahead and step that foot back in to meet the other. That's all it is for now. It's an inhale to lower and exhale to drive through that left heel and stand up nice and tall. Moving here at a pace that feels good in your body today, we're just working the right leg to start. Making sure you're stepping back far enough to allow both knees to find a 90-90 angle as you work through these lunges. Let's go ahead and add these arms in. We're going to sweep the arms straight up in line with the shoulders to lunge, and then they can sweep down by our hips to stand up nice and tall. You may see some extra limbs in the shot today. Don't be alarmed. I do have company. Inhale to lower, exhale to drive through that left heel to stand up nice and tall. We've got a few add-ons here. If at any time it gets too much for you, you can always drop back to stepping back into this 90-90 lunge and standing up nice and tall. Beautiful. The next time you stand up nice and tall, can you go ahead and float that right foot and give me a knee drive? but don't allow it to touch the ground next to the other foot. We're going to step it straight back for a 90-90 lunge. Beautiful. Maybe you'd like to change this to a running man to help you balance. Inhaling to lower, exhaling to drive through that heel and stand tall. Beautiful work, team. Let's keep working hard. 5 more seconds here before we're going to add on. Meet me with that knee all the way up to the chest in 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. From here, pick a spot that's not moving. Maybe bring your hands together and we're going to bend through this left leg and we're going to extend the right leg behind us to find us in an arabesque. Beautiful. Bring that right knee back to that knee drive and then step back to find that lunge. Good. Taking as many little moments here to find your balance. Soft bend through the left to extend the right behind you. Beautiful. Bend that knee, find that knee drive, step back, find a 90-90 lunge. That's the flow, team. Work through this at a pace that suits you today. Always remembering to breathe on the effort. Inhale to lower, exhale to drive. Inhale to slowly send that leg back behind you. Exhale to knee drive that leg. Beautiful work, team. We've just got another 10 seconds here. Beautiful. Make this your last one. The next time you're in that 90-90 lunge, let's hold it there. Beautiful. It's a little lift, little lower. We're just going to pulse out in this position. Really centering yourself. Maybe you'd like to take those hands to your hips if you're not sure where to put them. Just got another 5 seconds here. In 3, hold that deep lunge. 2, 1. Holding it here. Can you lift that left heel off the mat and lower it back down? Beautiful. It's an inhale to lift, an exhale to lower. Let's go for 3 more here. Last 2. Here we go. This is the last one. Hold it there. Don't go anywhere. We're going to rotate that right leg open now. We're going to find ourselves in a sumo squat. Extend both knees to stand up nice and tall and then sit those hips down. Good. Keeping that chest nice and lifted here. The knees are opening nice and wide, so you've got that space to sink down nice and low, keeping that chest nice and tall. Exhale to extend. Inhale to bend. Making sure that when you're taking that squat, you're just trying to think about sitting those hips straight down rather than sending them behind you and finding this hinge through the torso, okay? Beautiful. 5 more seconds here. You know that's my favorite number. Holding it down in 3, 2, last one. Beautiful. From here, let's go ahead and lift the right heel and then lower it straight back down. We're just going to move the right heel. Let's start to add a little pulse into this squat as we work through this right heel lift. Beautiful. Pulsing and lifting the heel at the same time, coordinating the movement. We've got another 5 seconds. For 3, 2, 1, plant that heel back down and change it over to the other side. Good. Don't forget to breathe all the way in through the nose and exhaling out through pursed lips like you're blowing through a straw. Another 3, 2, 1 here, but don't go anywhere. Drop that heel down, hold it here. Can you get down any lower to give me a slight lift? Let's pulse it out here. Firing up through the legs today. Nice to see the sons come to the party just for that extra burn. For another 3, 2, last one, drive through both of those heels, stand up nice and tall. Maybe run those legs out to just release. Zach's dying in the corner. I wish you could see him too. All right, and when you're ready, we're going to face the other direction to do that lunge series on the other side.
I'm on holiday.
When you're ready, and only when you're ready, let's go ahead and start moving through this left leg. We're going to step that left leg back to find ourselves in that 90-90 lunge, and then drive through that right heel to stand up nice and tall. It's an inhale to lunge and exhale to stand up nice and tall. Using that breath to slow down your heart rate here. Five more seconds here before we start to add that knee drive back into the mix. Another 3, 2, 1. The next time you stand up nice and tall, let's go ahead and drive that knee up to the chest. Beautiful. Step straight back now, drop the knee down. Drive, stand up nice and tall. Beautiful. If you do need to place that foot down between each rep, absolutely fine. Do what works well in your body today. If you need to change this to that running man for additional balance, go ahead and add that in now. Inhale to bend, exhale to drive through that right heel and stand up nice and tall. We've got one final add-on here. In 5 seconds, meet me with that knee lifted. In 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. From here, it's a slight bend through that right leg. And we're going to send that left leg behind to find an arabesque. Bend it back into where it came from. And then find that 90-90 lunge. Beautiful. That's the flow. Working here at a pace that feels good in your body today. If at any time you need to take these hands to the hips, that's absolutely okay. What you need to do here as you're finding this arabesque lunge, you need to find something to look at, maybe a piece on the floor that's not moving to help you find your balance. Five more seconds here, team. We're going to meet in that lunge in 3, 2, 1. Find that 90-90 lunge for me. Beautiful. We're going to have a little lower and lift here. It's a little pulse. Little lift and lower, lift and lower. Just got 10 seconds here before we go ahead and hold this deep lunge. Give me 5 more seconds here. Hold that deep lunge in 3, 2, 1. Hold it down there. Can you get any lower before we lift and lower that right heel? Good. Inhale to lift, exhale to lower. Beautiful work, team. Hold nice and strong. Got another 5, 3, last 2, 1. Drive, stand all the way up. Beautiful work, everyone. We are ready to move on. Let's go ahead and stand at the top of your mat. We're going to go for a nice roll down here. Let me just check to see what I've actually programmed today before I take you all on a wild ride. Standing at the top of your mat, length of the mat out in front. Tuck your chin to your chest and start to find yourself in that forward fold like we were in the start of class. Should feel quite good in your body. And let's go ahead and stand yourself all the way up, keeping those arms nice and heavy as you do. Your head is the last thing to lift. Let's go for one more like that. Chin to chest, roll yourself all the way down, keeping those arms nice and heavy. Big inhale breath here, and on that exhale, slight bend through the knees to slowly peel yourself all the way up. We're going to go for one more roll down, but we're going to hang down at the bottom this time. So meet me at the bottom, chin to chest, rolling all the way down. Beautiful. Releasing through the back of the legs here. Let's go ahead and pedal these knees to stretch and bend to release through the back of the leg. Keeping your whole foot on the floor. We just got another 5 seconds here, but don't go anywhere. In 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and stretch both legs and walk your hands out to find yourself in a plank position. If a full plank is not available to you, you can come down onto your knees, but if you've got it in you, let's go ahead and find your full plank. And then let's go ahead and pike those hips up into a downward dog. Beautiful. This is all it is for the moment. Rocking through downward dog to this plank position. The next time you're in the downward dog, can you think about someone pulling you from the back of the t-shirt to round through your back as you hinge your weight forward to find that plank? And then pike those hips straight back up. Beautiful. Again, like someone's pulling you from the back of your t-shirt, look down to your belly button before finding that plank and then piking the hips nice and high. Beautiful. This is all it is. Really trying to ripple that spine as you move through these positions. We're going to add on. The next time you're in that downward dog, can you hold it there for me? And let's go ahead and take our right hand and see if you can tap your left ankle. Beautiful. Return the arm and roll to plank. Pike the hips straight back up and we're going to go alternating arm. Left hand taps the right ankle. Replace the hand and then roll forward to plank. Good. Working here now at a pace that feels good in you today. Let's go ahead and combine these movements now, losing that roll back to plank. We're going to tap the ankle and return straight to plank. If you need to drop your knees down to reset each time, you absolutely can. Inhaling to reach to that opposite ankle. Exhaling as you come down to plank. In 5 seconds, we're going to change this ankle tap. Meet me in your downward dog. In 3, 2, 1. Piking those hips up nice and high. From here, can you extend your right leg up to find your arabesque? Sending it up as high as it can go. Lower the leg, return to plank. Beautiful. Pike the hips, alternating each time. Again, let's start to combine these movements. As you pike the hips up and find that downward dog, sending the opposite leg up towards the sky. Tell you what, I wasn't prepared for this sun to be beaming on me today. It's a hot one. Nice work, everyone. We've got another 5 seconds here. Meet me in that plank in 3, 2, 1. From here, drop the knees down. We're going to do a quick transition. We're going to float our chest down towards the mat and then press back up. Beautiful. Let's add the legs in. Like we were doing when we were in the downward dog, can you extend one leg up behind you as you melt down to the mat? And then press through both palms, return the knee to meet the other. Alternating each rep. If that leg extension is not for you today, you can just work through these push-ups in this low plank, sending your chest down to the mat and pressing through both palms to lift. 5 more seconds here. Another 3, 2, 1. Let's go ahead and send those hips back to find yourself in a child's pose. Opening the knees out to start, really melting that chest down onto the mat. Take a nice big inhale breath here. And exhaling out through pursed lips. Emptying those lungs. Another big breath like this. And when you're ready, we're going to take our hands walk your hands in towards one another so that they are together on the mat. Your knees are also going to meet underneath you, finding yourself in a bit of a narrow child's pose. From here, we're going to lift up. So extend forward, hinging that weight forward, and then step your right foot, if you can, next to those hands that are on the mat. Beautiful. If that range is too much for you, you can just go ahead and take that foot out a little wider today. Nice big inhale breath here, and on the exhale, let's go ahead and step that foot back to meet the other. Find that narrow child's pose. Alternating each rep, hinging forward, stepping the opposite foot down to meet the hands. Beautiful. And then step back, find that child's pose. It's an inhale to reach forward and an exhale to step back. Five more seconds here. Meet me with that left foot stepped forward. In 3, 2, 1. From here, we're going to take our left hand up to the sky and let's go ahead and look up. Finding a nice rotation here. Lower the hand back down to the mat and then step that foot back to find that narrow child's pose. Good. Opposite leg now. Right foot stamps down onto the mat. Right arm reaches up. Can you look back any further? Opening that chest to the sky. Replace that hand down and then step back to find that narrow child's pose. Beautiful work, team. This is all it is for now. Using that breath, inhaling to step forward. Exhaling to reach. Nice work, everyone. 5 more seconds here. Make this your last one. And when you step that foot back to find that child's pose stretch, let's just hold it there. If you'd like, you can open those knees back out and really melt that chest down onto the mat. Big inhale breath here at the bottom. And when you're ready, finding yourself on your hands and knees to finish off class today. Our wrists are directly under our shoulders. Our knees are underneath our hips. From here, we're going to flex through the left foot and press it up in line with the spine. Beautiful. Bend it straight back in to send it away. It's a bent leg press. Inhale to bend, exhale to press. Beautiful. Really pressing through both of those palms to lift up and out of the shoulders. Five more seconds here. Meet me with that leg extended behind you. In 3, 2, last one, hold it here. From here, we're going to bend this knee and we're going to tap the knee down onto the mat behind your other calf muscle. Send it back up in line with the spine and then lower the knee to meet the other. It's one bent leg press. Bend the knee, look down to the knee as it taps the mat, send it away, lower it in. That's all it is, team. Remembering to flex that foot as you stamp it behind you. You can point it as you bend that knee to tap behind the opposite calf muscle. We've got 5 more seconds here. Meet me with that leg extended behind you. In 3, 2, 1. Good. From here, point that toe for me. We're going to wave that leg out wide and then return it back in line with the spine. Good. Pressing through both hands to keep yourself nice and level here. We're just waving that leg wide and then returning it back in underneath us. Inhale to take it wide. Exhale to return. 5 more seconds here. We've got another 3, 2, 1. Bend that knee all the way in. Don't go anywhere just yet. Reflexing that foot and then pinching that calf muscle into your hamstring like you're trying to hold something in the back of your knee. Let's go ahead and stamp that heel up to the ceiling now and then lower it back down. Good. Donkey kick and then lower. Beautiful. Exhale to stamp that heel high, like you're trying to poke a hole in the ceiling with your heel. Beautiful work. 5 more seconds here. Another 3, 2, 1. Let's go ahead and stamp that heel up and hold it there. It's a little pulse. Can you poke little holes in the ceiling here? 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one. Lower it down. Maybe sit those hips back. Have a quick release. Beautiful. When you're ready, we're going to do that whole thing on the other side. We're going to work through the right leg to start. Hands and knees, stacking those shoulders on top of the wrists, knees on the hip, knees under those hips, flexing through that right foot to start, and then step it back up in line with the spine. Beautiful. It's a bend and then exhale to press. Beautiful. Again, pressing through those palms, keeping that chest nice and square with the mat underneath you. You've got this, team. We're on the home stretch now. Just 3 more minutes of class. You've got it in you. Use that breath. Exhale to press. Inhale to bend. Meet me with that leg extended out behind you in 3, 2, 1. We're going to go for that combo. Bend the knee. Tap the mat behind your calf muscle. Send it back up in line with the spine to bend it in. Beautiful. Exhale to press. Inhale to bend. Maybe look at that knee as you tap it down to get that rotation. Send it behind you. Bend it in. Using that exhale, each time you stretch the leg, we're breathing out. Each time we bend, it's an inhale. Five more seconds here. Meet me with that leg down on the mat in 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Like we did on the other side, we're flexing that foot, pinching the back of the knee like you're trying to hold a little piece of paper. And then let's go ahead and stamp that heel up to the ceiling. Be careful not to flare through the ribs as you're doing this. Yeah, you're not arching your back and flaring through those ribs. You're keeping the ribs nice and tucked as you're working through these donkey kicks. Beautiful. Exhale to press. Inhale to bend. Hold that leg lifted in 3, 2, last one. Ready for these little pulses. Little lift, little lower. Pressing into the hands on the mat, lifting up and out of those shoulders. Here for another 3. Last 2, 1. Bend it all the way in. Maybe sit those hips back for that one last release. Inhaling here to start to slow down that heart rate. Beautiful. And when you're ready, we're going to go for one last cool down stretch. So find yourself in a kneeling position. We're going to inhale to circle these arms all the way up overhead. Interlace the fingers at the top and press those palms all the way up to the ceiling. Inhaling here at the top and then circling those arms nice and wide. Beautiful. Take your left hand down onto the mat, reaching up and over with the right. Maybe looking into that elbow. Beautiful. Take a nice big breath here. And when you exhale, up and over to the other side. Again, maybe eye gaze into that left elbow. Deep breath here. And when you're ready, restack that spine, finding yourself in a seated position. We are done today. Well done, everyone. Any questions, comments, or feedback, as usual, I am more than happy to hear it. Make sure you let me know. And I hope you enjoyed the change of scenery today. I'll see you again next